Friends with my enemy. Why I must choose wisdom overall. Today I want to discuss those interesting interactions that come about in life sometimes when someone has made it clear, whether directly, indirectly, overtly, or covertly, that they are your enemy. Sometimes they show you, whether it's family, friend, coworker, acquaintance, even somebody that you just barely know, or you find out from someone else that they've created a smear campaign against you or some type of character assassination. This is what I mean when I say an enemy. Someone who literally means you no well, no good in life, and for whatever reason, you're enemies. Sometimes it could be your fault, it could be something that you've done, but many times in life, based on my experience, an enemy can be someone that, especially since they never came and told me what happened, we are enemies for no apparent reason. And I have to jump to conclusions like jealousy, envy, all these negative emotions. So now that we have that cleared up, the definition of what I mean by enemy, I'm referring to the people that like the enemy in your life. This could be a sibling, this could be anyone, someone that you genuinely liked and they're still in communication with your enemy. This is my take on that entire situation. If you're my enemy's friend, we can't be friends. I will possibly still be cordial with you. There will be no communication about how I'm doing, what's going on in my life. There will be no communication about my plans. Definitely I won't be sharing anything with you about personal matters. Once I realize that you're my enemy's friend, we're not friends. And it's a harsh reality in life because in order to protect yourself, you have to do what you got to do. There's in the spiritual definitions, there's something called monitoring spirits. And these are spirits that gain information from you and use that information against you in the spiritual realm. And I believe that your enemy's friend, my enemy's friend, whether they intend to or not, could potentially act as a monitoring spirit. I don't want to be a naive individual, once bitten, twice shy type thing. If I've learned my lesson, I've learned my lesson. And I'm speaking from experience. There's no such thing as someone playing both sides of the fence. There has to be one party that they're more loyal to, one person that they feel more of a connection with. And if my enemy's friend feels that way about my enemy, if they feel closer to my enemy, of course they're going to spend time with that person and share information about me. They may even gossip about me. Or would my enemy's friend stand up for me and defend me in the face of my enemy, or correct my enemy if they're spreading lies about me and stand up and defend my honor? Would they fight for me if it came down to it? That's what a friend is supposed to do. A friend is supposed to be someone that you can rely on, that would come back and tell you what things are being said about you, and they're supposed to also respect you enough to distance themselves from your enemy if they're truly your friend. So, because I don't expect people to have to make a decision to choose me over someone else, I'll make the decision. If you're my enemy's friend, then we just can't be friends. And I wish you both the best, but obviously there's some areas in your life, whether it's on a physical level, spiritual level, that you feel a connection to this person who has chosen to be my enemy. And that's why we can't be friends. I wouldn't trust sharing anything with that person. And I wouldn't even trust going to grab a cup of coffee, because in order to be a friend with someone, there should be communication. And I don't think it's wise to share a lot of personal information with people anyway, whether it's blood relative or not. I think it's better to keep certain things for prayer and with your spouse if you're married. But when it comes to friend, if I can't even tell someone that I'm planning on going on vacation, because they may go back and tell my enemy, who could be involved in witchcraft or cursing people, if I can't even tell you that, if I can't tell you where I'm going, if I can't tell you that I came into a huge blessing in my life, or that I'm going through hardship, or that my loved one is not doing well health-wise or something like that, because you may go back and tell my enemy, and you guys could actually rejoice in my folly and my shortcoming. So I rather be cautious and be wise in situations like this. And I don't make a habit of trying to make enemies, but we do understand, especially if you're familiar with this channel, familiar with where I stand on this, that we're wrestling not against flesh and blood, but it's against spiritual principalities and powers. This is a spiritual battle that we're on. And as a child of the Most High God, I make enemies with people who are on the side of the enemy of God. There are people who are on Satan's team, and I'm on Team God Almighty. So I want to use this analogy. I'm sure you may have seen a movie based in mob life or mafioso type life, whether it's Godfather, Goodfellas, any of these types of movies, Carlito's Way, anything like this. New Jack City or Juice, any of these movies. Belly is another one with DMX. Okay, so all these movies I've watched in the past. I used to be into those types of movies, and I don't watch them now, but in those movies, let's just say putting yourself or myself as part of a family, part of a powerful family, okay? And Don Corleone or something like this. And you find out that someone on your squad, on your team, is interacting with the enemy family across town, even if they're just going to have a bite of pizza. Don Corleone, or whoever the character would be, would say, "What are you guys talking about when you're going over there having pizza? What's really going on over there? Why are you friends with this guy over there?" Right? That's what they would say. And they have the right to feel that way. What do you talk about? What is your interest with this person that's my enemy? And I don't feel in any way that's paranoid. I think that's normal, and it shouldn't be reserved for people who are involved in mob life. Another example would be, let's say you're military and you are part of the Navy SEALs, and you find out that one of your Navy SEAL team members is interacting with or dating someone on the enemy's team, and they're spending all kinds of time together. Maybe he leaves and goes and spends it whenever he has free time. He goes and spends time with her or this guy or whomever this person is on the enemy's side. And then he comes back over to you and he wants to know, okay, so what are our plans? What are we going to be doing to defeat this enemy? I'm friends with one of them, but what are our plans? What's our mission? Of course, you're going to look at them sideways and say, what do you guys talk about when you're alone? Do you ever talk about what we're doing or what we've discussed? So the reason I bring that up is because those are real life situations too. And whether it's mafia or military, we need to understand that our life, we need to secure our life. We need to secure our borders, the borders of our life. And having someone who could be considered a traitor is a dangerous thing to have. Not just that, but let's just say you insist on maintaining interaction with your enemy's friend. And you and your enemy's friend fall out. What do you think they're going to do? All the information that they've gathered during the time that you've interacted with them is going to be free and open on the table of discussion, especially if they know that the person they're going to share your private information with has no problem with smearing you and destroying your character further. So I guess the reason I made this video is I've learned in life that having a tight circle, having a small circle, people that I genuinely trust and that I would fight for, spiritually and physically, and people that would do the same for me. I'd rather have that than just have some people that I really don't know anything about how they feel about me inwardly because they're friends with my enemy, or they have a group of friends that I really have no interest in being even acquainted with. I'd rather have a small circle of real friends, or no friends at all, and just my spouse, than to have 5 or 6 friends that could potentially take my life on a spiritual level or physical level. And I'm sure that we've heard stories. Shankilla Jackson is one person. I think I mispronounced her name, but her life was taken by people that she considered friends. But I can guarantee you there may have been signs that there was somebody in that group that really didn't like her, but she insisted on overlooking it and just maintaining friendship with the others. You have to be super defensive about your life when we're dealing with spiritual warfare. All this middle school and high school thing of, oh, I have so many friends. You need to put those things behind you as an adult, because what you're going to find in life, and I'm speaking to people who might be younger than I am. Like I said, I'm Gen X, so, I'm a little on the older side. And with time, generally, you get more experience, and with the Lord, you get wisdom. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But you got to be wise, and you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself on a spiritual level, because if you're a chosen one of God and you've made a decision to walk with Christ, you're already in the enemy's crosshairs. You're already targeted by the evil one. And if there are people in your life, whether they claim to be Christian or not, whether they're blood family or not, and whether you've known them for many years or not, a childhood friend, when it comes to spiritual warfare, those things don't matter. So it's always more wise to have a small circle of people that you trust. And that way you can keep an eye on your life in a more wise and protective way. So the reason I'm not friends with my enemy's friends is for that reason. You got to use wisdom. And what am I really losing by letting go of someone who's friends with my enemy? I'm not losing anything, because when I have a friend, to me, it's a welcome obligation that I'm adding into my life. I'm making time for this person. This person is in my thoughts. I'm wishing them well. I'm praying for them. I'm speaking to them. I'm taking time out of my life for them. So if there's someone that I'm not 100% sure I can trust, by letting them go, I've freed a part of myself for people that I do trust and activities that I do want to involve myself in. You're not losing anything by letting go of your enemy's friend, other than potential heartache, headache, and destruction. So that's all I wanted to share today. Letting go of your enemy's friend. because they're going to be loyal to one or the other. And if they really love me as a friend, I wouldn't even have to question it, because they wouldn't be friends with my enemy. So that's all I wanted to share today. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, stay wise. God bless you.